Gonna try the quick route again. I'm gonna give this a try for probably the next couple days worth of videos. This is the Ghost Rider Vlog. So today's episode is going to be on book number 28, and we have a return of, I told you, a returning villain called the Orb. This time we bump into a bike rider that we saw before named Bill. He appeared very briefly and challenged Johnny to a race last time. This time he bumps into, of all people, Roxanne first, and tells her the general direction where Blaze is, but also is figuring that he can get himself a little bit of happy action himself, especially if Blaze cuts out too quickly. He does actually appear at the very end. He happens to notice that Blaze is headed out towards a group of bikers that he saw earlier, which were obviously hypnotized and acting really weird. Upon arrival, Johnny Blaze is knocked out by these bikers and chained up because they are, in fact, being controlled by the Orb. The bikers then start to drag him at the Orb's command, but his chains are shot to pieces by Bill, who shows up out of nowhere. They continue to fight, Johnny releasing himself by becoming Ghost Rider and then chasing after the Orb. After a number of scattering fire shots from the Orb's laser eyes and from the hellfire shots from Ghost Rider, it ends more or less in a stalemate. Johnny too tired to be staying as Ghost Rider, and the Orb too injured to continue the fight and demanding that his new mind-possessed minions take him back. His helmet left behind smoldering with some of the hellfire still in it. They seem to be alluding to something, but we can't be certain for sure right now. Johnny once again decides to cut out and continue on the road. Bill is by no means going to try and hold him back, and in fact decides to head back to town and finds Roxanne in a bit of amnesia. He pretends to be some sort of lover of hers, and they decide to check out together, even though Roxanne still can't remember the guy for obvious reasons, and she is suffering this amnesia because, for as far as we can guess, the Orb did it to her. So even though the Orb did not get his physical, damaging vengeance on Johnny, he has at least made a small, horrific victory against him by erasing the memory of Roxanne Simpson. So we will have to see how the events further unfold as we continue on this strange and somewhat tragic story of Johnny. Things have never really looked up for him, and they couldn't be any more on a low ebb. His main love interest, on and off, Roxanne, is again lost to him, and he's got nothing to look forward to, and he's slowly losing his money as he had to buy a new bike and buy new supplies for himself. So we'll have to see how things continue next time. See you all then. Also, before I go, because I happen to just remember it, cover. Really good. I like the fact that I like really action-y covers when they have something spectacular to show off, but also this one kind of hits me as a semi-horror comic, like, say, Tales from the Crypt or something like that. So, not a bad idea. Also very similar to the art style that they actually have in the actual comics, so that's usually a pretty good idea, at least giving us a nice big splash page of what could have been inside the comic itself. So, good art. See you all next time.